What's up, people? Welcome back to another explanation video. This time I'm gonna go over the final weapons with the Ultimate Endgame series. So it is the 2H, and I'm gonna save the best for the last this time instead of go over in the beginning. So yeah, with that being said, let's jump right into it. Alright, let me go over this for the one final time. I don't know how many times I repeated every single video, but this is the final time. And if you want to look for a specific builds, setups for the boss fights, etc., they're in the gameplay playlist. Just look for that and you'll see different variation of setups, etc. I will not include them in this video. Specifically, just talking about the weapons only, the setups, like what I have, and talk about it in general. And that way it will help you understand why I use some of the stuff in the videos, and that way I don't have to explain it in every single video anymore. And yeah, let's jump right into the final weapon I'm gonna talk about. It is the two-handed. The two-handed you want to look for the end game. There is no other than the SP Spectral Sword. So this thing is the best weapon in the entire game. There's no question about it. Once you get this weapon, it's pretty much over. But I'm not saying that once you get the weapon, it will make everything a lot easier. I mean, you still have to know how to use it. It's not like you can just get the weapon and everything will be dead. You know, you still gotta learn the buffs, the setups, and all that, etc. How things works. It's just make things a lot easier. If you know how that stuff works, then you'll understand why this weapon is superior. But if you don't understand, like any weapon that I talk about it, you basically just not gonna make that much differences because it'll be a hollow. It'll be a shell of the weapon itself. It's like the only way to mastery and understand the weapon itself is trying to understand the weapon itself. That's how you do it. And you can't just copy and paste and use what other people use and expecting the same thing, you know, until you understand how it works. And so with that being said, this sword itself, there isn't much to explain. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's a fixed stat, so this is the stats you're gonna get, so there's no point for me to explain the stats wise. It is insane. And other than that, let's go over to the sword skills. Sword skills, the DPS you definitely want is a Calamity and Meteor Fall. That's it. And yeah, anything with a Sky Dancer works for this weapon. So for me, as usual, the Fish Bell. Fish Bell is the best for the two-handed, but you can use anything else with a Vitality and Sky Dancer. There's a good amount of Vitality with Sky Dancer. I mean, so I don't want to mention it too much because they're everywhere. And other than that, and I just use Cyclone because yeah, there's other sword skills I can use, but I felt like Cyclone for me is easier to do skill connecting for the 4/4 and stuff. So, or whatever underneath it, 3/3, etc. Astral Hell is good for me as well. Like I said, feel free to try anything else if you want, if you like some of the styles and stuff. Not a big deal. But nonetheless, the Meteor Fall and Calamity is the DPS skill. I mean, you're not gonna replace any of that because it's just so OP. The Meteor Fall will be the same setup as Calamity, double Sky Dancers. Any double Sky Dancer is fine, but if you want to get the best of the best, it's the Fish Belt. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it for the 2H. That's really it to make this thing OP is 2 Sky Dancers. Done. Because this thing has built, I already talked about it in the Sky Dancer video, why it make this weapon OP, so I'm not gonna repeat too much in this video, so save me some time. And that's all you need to know is 2 Sky Dancers on the Meteor Fall and Calamity. That's it. That's all you need to make the 2H OP. Of course there are buffs, passives, and etc. But the main key is those two. Like, you have to understand like the structure for the weapon itself and what makes it OP. Of course, the buffs is gonna make it OP. That's why I say if you want to look for specific buffs and setups and stuff, it's better to see in the gameplay video because they're already shown. So there's no need for me to put 10 plus gameplays in this video just to show And if you want to look for a specific one, feel free to look for a specific one. And that's pretty much it for the 2H. Like, item wise, strength through always. You know, Arco, same. I'm not gonna change much. So other than that, that's it for 2H. It is insanely powerful and destroys everything. It's really that simple. And it is like when you know the weapon is so ridiculously OP and without even needing to explain why too much, it's OP. I mean, there's no words for it. I mean, this weapon is so broken. And other than that, if you don't have the spectral sword, you can use the demon blade sword. That one works pretty well as well. But this sword is easier to get than the demon blade, trust me, because if you max out the base one and you have a good amount of discount, like 5%, you get this for free. You don't even need to fight Kirito to get this weapon. So, I mean, this is better than anything else in the game. Might as well pick this up if you want an easy, you know, mowing through the entire game and, you know, do all the apostles, max out, whatever. It's so cheesy. So that's pretty much it for the two-handed. And I'm gonna transition to talk about some other stuff and before I end this video. Oh, I'm gonna talk about some of the other stuff before I end this video, since it's the final video for the series. So that's pretty much it for all the weapons. And like I said, it really saved me a lot of time making this for the final series, because I already talked about the accessories, armors, weapons, etc. So if you want to look for any of that, I have it. That's why I don't make these videos extremely long now. And simply just, it's simple. I mean, that's the whole point. And the purpose of this Endgame series is just to talk about, you know, some of the variations for setups, why, and you know, why I use it, and etc. Because sometimes, like I said, I don't explain in every single video. I only explain some of them in the explanation video, because it is enough to cover, you know, like 10, 20, 50 gameplays. Is not gonna make that much differences. Like, what you need to know in that video, like, once you understand it, you'll understand, watch the gameplay, because that way it'll be a lot easier for the people that in the future that wants to reference and learn it. That's how I like to do my content. I'm not gonna explain in every single gameplay video. I have like so many. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna I'm really not gonna, you know, talk about it. It's practically going to do the same thing over and over and over and over. Like, you buff, you use Mind Break, you download, or you hazard it, and you just use the skill connection and blah blah blah. I mean, it's not even, at that point, is really, it might as well just don't add commentary. I mean, it gets boring. So for me, this is my, you know, type of like explaining how the game mechanics and system works, is talk about it in a separate video, and then people will learn that, and then they can go actually watch the gameplay and stuff. So some people watch the gameplay without actually watch some of the explanation videos. Of course, they're not gonna understand. Or people that from the very beginning just start the game, they're gonna watch some of the Endgame series and stuff. They're not gonna understand. It's basically a building block. You go up slowly. So it's not like you can skip it from the beginning to the end. This is why some of these videos they're good in a way if you watch it in certain orders and stuff, and you actually understand what I'm trying to explain. Is that, you know, trying to, like, these takes time and takes effort. It's not that simple to get to the end game, but once you reach the end game and stuff, you know, once you get all the basics, you know, set up and understand how it works, you're pretty much good to go. Like, any builds that I make, you can pretty much understand. That's the goal that I want to make sure people that watch, you know, to make it to the end game. I'm not even talking about people in the beginning of the game. I'm talking about people who are at the end game. You know, it's like you'll understand once you watch it, and then yeah, and because realistically there isn't much to explain, because like I explained it so much. Like I have 100+ explanation video pretty much cover the entire game itself. I mean, if you want me to even add even more explanation into, in a video that I'm making, like later on and stuff, it's a little bit overkill because a lot of things I already talked about it. So, and then some people will be saying, well, the video is a bit too long and stuff. But and then when you make it short, they will be like, well, you're not explaining anything. If you make it too long, they will talk about like, it's too long. And I'm like, well, make up your mind then. If you want like a short, simple video like these, sure. But you're not gonna understand a lot of things. But if you want the opposite, then don't complain too much, because you can't make a perfect video that really explains something well. Certainly not in AL. I mean, you can do it in another game, but it's really complex. That's why there are so many, explanation videos. I split them, and throughout the entire, 3 years for AL and stuff. And like I said, this is the final series. That's why I talk about it a little bit more, because I'm not gonna talk about it that much, because this is pretty much it. And as in terms of like, teaching this game, that's it. Like I said, this is the final series. The only thing I'm gonna do is the cube opening, talk about the 3 years experience, and then last recollection. And I'm definitely enjoying making the AL explanation, but it certainly takes a lot of work and etc. It's not easy to make them, but like try to make one yourself, you'll understand. Sometimes it's a lot of work, and that's why I recommend people. You just have to go to the playlists and search and find what you need. If you don't see what you're looking for, you can always ask in the comment section, because I can always point you to the right videos and etc. to watch it and learn it, and it will help you throughout the journey. Depends how far you want to go, and if you want to get to the end game, the very end. So it is a long journey, and yeah, that's why I spend a lot of time making these videos. And it's not for everyone. It's not. It's for people who actually wants to get there. Because for example, if I don't do them, I'll be worried about some people might be able to get there, but they can. And just because majority of the players can't get to the end game, doesn't mean we don't have to make anything about the end game or don't care. So there's people still will do it, and yeah, it's really fun, honestly. So this is pretty much the final series I'm gonna do, besides the cube opening, and then I'll be taking a break and wait for Last Recollection to come out, because everything I want to talk about is pretty much done. There's not much I want to really make them anymore. Yeah, I could probably make some builds with the end game setups and much more optimized. I don't really want to be honest. All the other ones works just fine. I mean, with the methods nowadays, it's just even faster. That's about it. I mean, the whole point is, if you kill the boss, you kill the one down, good enough. I mean, don't worry about too much. If you want to optimize, optimize. So it's like, I'm not gonna try to, just like make it even better and better. I mean, there's no point. I mean, it's already good enough. That's the thing, because at some point I'm just like, I have fun. I had a lot of fun making videos. But at some point, if I'm gonna keep making something that I don't, really enjoy or care that much, there's no point. And like I said, this will be a good place, to finish. And I certainly took my time for 3 years, because I didn't want to just dish out everything, just you know, when the game ended, like whenever the last update, I could just put everything out there ended, but we got plenty of time until last recollection. I mean, that's why I like to space them out. And so that way it's not gonna be dry for like many months, and certainly it won't be boring. So otherwise we'll be sitting there and do other things and etc. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Ultimate Endgame series. Even though it's short, it's supposed to be short. Like the amount of, like I say, the preparation I did prior to this final series, it's already done. If I did not include that, I have to talk about like where you get these weapons, what the stats are, where you get these accessories, blah blah blah. You know, where, how, get it. Why do that when you can just put everything into one video and then just get straight to the point? And some people like everything in one video. I did that. It's just in different formats. I put it in different ways. Like I say, I make videos. I break them into different parts of the game. I don't just put a whole. Imagine telling somebody like teach somebody the entire game in one video. Good luck. Good luck. Do that. It would be insane. I mean, like, I don't know, 10 hours. I don't even know 10 hours you can to teach, but I say good luck. Some people like everything in one video, but you have to understand. I'm not gonna sit here speak for hours for explanation videos. Nobody's gonna sit here for hours. Though the best way is to break them into parts and teach each main whatever you call, like just the main parts of the game, you know, the main mechanics, you know, like talk about accuracies in one video, talk about passive in one video, talk about buffs in one video, and etc. And it's like school, you know, you learn all the topics from different classes and different videos. You're not gonna go to school and expecting people teach the entire semester in one class, in one video. That's just too much. I mean, the brain is not gonna process. If I'm doing that kind of format, it will be like ridiculous. So this is how I do my videos, and that's how I will continue doing it in the last recollections. And yeah. Anyway, I will see you guys in the cube opening later at some point. And yeah, to wrap up the 3 years, there will be a little bit more talking over there, but not a whole lot of explaining because, like I say, explanations are done. So that's pretty much it for this series and for the final series for this game. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Until next time.